Okay, great stuff. Welcome everyone to this session, this group mentoring session. The way we typically would run this session is to go across the table, get questions from people, and then I'll respond to those questions on the go. That's how we'll typically do it. Um, but obviously, before now, we have people who have shared their concerns and they've sent that through. So while we talk about it, I will be providing responses to those questions as well while I'm taking questions here. So I think it will be one here, one there, or however it is we want to do it. We just want to maximize the 1 hour, 30 minutes that we've got to make sure that we are attending to everybody. Now, if you have raised your question already on the form that you filled, it's fine. You can still ask it because it is more, we can give more context to it right here. So feel free to ask your question here as well. And if I am asking, if I'm reading out a question and it's just, if we've attended to it, I'm not going to read it out again. So I think let's go that route and get through this quite quickly. Now, if you want to ask me any question, don't say, oh, I want to see how it runs. Just use the raise hand function on your screen and I'll call you. You ask your question, I provide answers immediately, and then we go around the table like that. Just make sure that you're like straight to the point. Give me all the information that you think I need to give, provide you with guidance, and I'll do just that. Is that okay? All right, great stuff. Great stuff. So I mean, we can start with whoever is ready. Use the raise hand function and take it from there. Oh yeah, we can close actually. We can actually go. Anybody who wants to start? I don't want to read a question here that you guys are not interested in. It's going to be like waste of your time. So what do we do? Do you want me to pick someone?
Okay, so
Okay,
let me start. Oh, sorry.
that's fine. Oluwayemi.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let me see. And um, so my question is, what would you say is the best approach to turn things around in a situation whereby, so maybe so for instance, you are on an engagement and things didn't go very well. So maybe in
Mhm.
terms of meeting deadlines, managing, senior team members,
Yep.
but you've sat down, you've reflected, I've sat down, I've reflected, and I'm like, okay, I could have done things, differently. What would you say is the best approach to turn things around, basically?
Well, I mean, so I presume that this engagement is done already. Or are you still in progress? You're not totally
It is,
done.
it is still in progress, actually.
Okay, it's still in progress. So I think this is a matter of gaining trust, right? Or gaining back the trust. Now, I don't know. Obviously, if you were like the in charge, as long as you're like the
Yeah,
in charge of the most senior associate on the job, most of the blame will kind of fall on you from an operational perspective. So this is what I
yeah.
would say to you. I think you need to manage. You need to manage. You need to manage up and you need to manage down and you need to manage your clients as well. So there are many stakeholders if you're in the middle, if you're like the in charge. Now, when it comes to managing the clients, this is what I would typically say. Sorry, I think yeah, means if you go on mute, I think there's just this okay, great stuff. So when it comes to gaining trust, there are three angles to it. There is the client, there is your bosses, and there are those that work with you, right? So the most important trust you want to gain right now because things are going south is probably your client's trust because it's just so important that they feel comfortable to work with you again. So part of the things you can do is you can project manage the rest of the engagement or the rest of the project. So the way you do that is to say, look, I don't know how often you guys would typically have met with this particular client. You can make it more often. So probably you were meeting with them once a week. You can make it every other day just to manage all of the deliverables that are left. So you would say to them, for instance, we would typically meet every Wednesday, but can we meet first thing Monday morning to set the tone for the week? We want to know the things we are able to achieve for this week. On Wednesday, we'll have our normal meetings. And then probably on Friday, we'll see what are the things outstanding. When you're having those kind of meetings, make sure that the most important person from an operational perspective from your client side is on that call. So it's not just maybe even though you have a client contact, there will also be someone probably that person reports to. You can make it optional for the person, but it's important for the person to drop in and see how you're project managing. Part of the things you would typically also want to do is to make sure that before any meeting, you have a list of all items or a list of all the deliverables. Sorry, I'm talking and I'm admitting people in. So you have a list of all the items and all the deliverables that your client needs to provide. So you can have that in a rolling spreadsheet, or you can have that in a slide, whatever. I like spreadsheets because on a spreadsheet you can have several tabs. So you have tabs for things they need to provide for you. You have tabs for things that you need to provide to them. You have tabs for to show in a graphical way how things are moving, the progress you've made over the course of the week. Probably another tab for like contacts, whatever that is. But that's just going to be like a rolling list of these are the action points we had probably at the beginning of the year. If you did like a um if you had like a close-up meeting, these are the things we need to do better. Maybe some list of efficiencies. So you can have a tab there as well for list of efficiencies, the things you've been able to do well, things that we you need to stay on top of and all of that. A rolling list is going to be so helpful for you before any meeting. So you have someone on your team to email it to the client a day before. So for your Monday meeting, you can email it last thing on Friday. For your Wednesday meeting, you can email it a day before, like a Tuesday afternoon, to give them enough time to action the things on that list, right? So you will do that on Friday, you email on Thursday, and Friday, last thing, close of business, you send another email for Monday morning, right? That's how you can. So it's so clear that it is not your fault. It is not anybody from your team. It is so clear that if something is outstanding, it's from the client side. So from a project management perspective, you do that. Now, when you are having conversations with the client, just because you are in a dicey situation right now, make sure your bosses are emailed there. Now, this is not the time for you to say, oh, I don't want them to feel bad. You are not auditing anybody's emotions. You are not auditing anybody's, how do they feel. The client wants you to give them give them your service on time, right? So even the client doesn't care about how you're trying to manage them, they just want you to deliver. So from that perspective, make sure that your own top guys are there as well. They can see how much effort you're putting into project manage. So that's project managing your clients, just getting more meetings and send recurring list of things that they need to do more often. So the key thing, I know you're already doing it, so the key is more often, so they can see the impact that you're, so they can see that you're on top of it, right? Good. Now, another thing you can use is calendar. So if you want your team to do something, or you need to manage yourself, or you want your bosses to do something on time so that that can go to the client, use your calendar to manage that process. Part of the things is you need to sit still, probably during this weekend, for instance. What is everything I need to get this particular project across the line? Every single thing, this report, that report, this consultation, that consultation, the deliverables, the signed opinion, whatever, everything, list everything down and create a Gantt chart out of it on a weekly basis. So in September, there's one more week. In October, there are 4 weeks. In November, whatever, it depends on when you're signing up. For every week, you can color code it green to say, okay, in this particular week, I'm going to make sure that the deliverables are done. So you have like a Gantt chart. That Gantt chart is what you're going to take to your boss to say, look, for the rest of this project, this is what I expect us to get through, and this is when we are supposed to do it. Once they agree with you, take that back into your calendar and make sure that all of those dates are sitting on your calendar. Everybody who needs to do what is there. Now, the way that I work and works best for me is I don't let my team go and run to town. What I do is, if there is something we need to do, I put in a meeting. It can be an hour meeting, 2 hours meeting, it doesn't matter. I'll sit with my team and we will all sit down there. They'll be doing, I'll be reviewing, or whatever needs to happen, but we're on the call. And if we're in person in the office, I'm sitting down with them in a room. We'll get a room, we'll sit down in that room, and we'll get through the work. If you do that, I don't say how you're going to not gain back trust. Obviously, what has happened, but you will still be able to gain as much trust as you need to gain. Okay. So from the way to get back their trust is through project management at this point, and obviously to validate them as well. So if your client is already complaining, this is not the time to see to apportion blames. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's my fault. No, this is the time to validate. Listen to them when they say, "Oh, we would have expected this." Take it on board to say, "Okay, we will take a look at this." So you take it back, because once you are defensive, what the client does is they just not talk to you. They can go to your boss and start talking to your boss, and they don't talk to you, but you validate them, say, "I see what you mean." Take that away, see how your team can action it. And I think you'll be working your way back into getting them to support you. Obviously, there will be situations where the client is just not doing what they need to do from their end. Still, your project management will show that you are on top of it and it is clearly their fault. And obviously, you know how we do it now, over on straight, like extra hours we are spending and all of that. Just make sure you're able to quantify the impact of that in cash. And that is the conversation you want to be having with your client by the time you're getting to the end of the order. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff. All the best with the rest of the project. Okay,
Yeah.
let me
Thank
open
you.
this queue. Damilola, you're next. Before Damilola comes up, anyone who has a question for me, now is a great time. Now that our strength, we still have a lot of energy in the room. We are not rushing for time. Now is the time to get raise your hand. I'll call you. You ask your question. We do it like that. We roll. By the time it's getting to the end of the call, we will have to make a call and we will have to stop, right? So if you're here, you're still thinking, should I ask? Just ask. Okay. Good. And if someone has asked your question, you don't need to raise your hand. You raise your hand and we can just keep going. Right. Damilola.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ma. So, my question is in twofold. The first question is that you know, I know it might be kind of not sound too good, but it's been 1 year on my current job, and quite frankly, um, I'm feeling bored already. Like
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm not using my brain power the way I used to when I
Yep.
started. Like I mean, when I started newly, it was every day was a challenge. Like
Mm-hmm.
every day was there was always something to like spend my brain on. I was like my brain power was working, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the fact that I was always excited to go to work in the morning. I had loads
Yep.
and loads of tasks and deliverables, and I'm coming back home tired, proud of myself that oh I wanted to deliver this, I was able to do this. But these
Mm-hmm.
days I'm feeling like I'm not having to use that much strength. I'm not having to use that much power. Like, and when I begin to feel that way, it means like I'm getting bored on the job. And quite
Mm.
frankly, to be fair to my manager, I've asked her like, give me more tasks, give me more tasks. But these days, I'm coming to, I think I'm realizing that it's not about much tasks. It's I
Mm.
just don't know. Like at this point, and I feel it's gonna affect my productivity later on if I don't really tackle the real issue. So I wanted to ask, what do you think is the best way, the best approach that I can use to actually, because it's a new job, and I mean, there are people who've done jobs for 5 years, 6 years, and but
Yeah.
1 year on, and I'm bored already, and I think it's a problem I need to tackle early on. So I just wanted to like check with you on how can I go about this, in a
Yeah.
way whereby I'm still, trying to I'm going to work feeling challenged and I'm coming back, feeling, oh, it's been a productive day. That's the first question.
Mm-hmm.
The second question is I have this colleague who is
Yeah.
always very, very competitive. Like when you both
Yeah.
are working on a project together, I don't know, it might just be me feeling that way. It might
Yeah.
not be what the person is really feeling, it might be me feeling that way. But I also think if I'm the one feeling that way, I need to tackle this hands on, like heads on. I need to understand
Yeah.
what the problem is and tackle it heads on. I always have this feeling that this person is always competitive. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't do well in an environment where I'm having that feeling that this person is competitive. Like
Yeah.
I just shut out. Like it's, I just think it's not healthy for me. So like
Yeah.
I will always come across people who are competitive. That's sure. How do I work on myself to make sure that okay, when I even sense that this person is being competitive, I can manage the person effectively
Mm-hmm.
well. I can do my job, and and I'm not concerned and I'm not bothered about whether
Yeah.
competition or not? Like, how do I tackle the first thing? Those are like my two questions. Thank you.
No, thank you, Damilola. So, the first one, let's get through that quite quickly. You feeling bored? Obviously, you get to situations where I've been on a job before. I think I got in like three, even the first month. I'm like, I just cannot do this. You know, before 1 p.m., I'm done for the day. So I go for 2 hour lunch breaks, and it was just I could close my eyes. I know what to do. I started doing things that I'm not supposed to do. Start building some processes. It was just, and I get you. If you feel that way now, what you're feeling is you're not feeling like you're important enough, such that people are really seeing your value. And basically, the way that comes out to people is through the kind of tasks that you do. So it's not so even if they have a lot, there are some people that are overwhelmed. So there are some people that work in situations where they're overwhelmed, yet they feel bored. And the reason is because the overwhelm they feel is from admin tasks, tasks that had no value to them, tasks that they had no value to. It just takes up their time and they are bored. Like they don't see meaning in it. Now, in this case, it looks like you may not be overwhelmed, but you still are not feeling like you're doing anything that is making your brain sweat, right? So in this case, it feels like your borderline not needed. Like, because obviously, if you were doing very challenging stuff, people will be checking in. Damn, another. So what is where are we with this project? You want to feel movement, like you are in demand, kind of situation. So there are two ways. Number one, you keep asking for that kind of project, or you create the opportunity yourself. There are two things. Now, you can shop around. The fact that you're in a particular unit does not mean you can't do something or be involved in a project that is firm wide or entity wide. So you can shop for it. If there are people you truly respect, so your line manager is not the only person you can talk to. If there are people maybe higher than I in another department, whatever. You need to sit down and think about it. Like, what exactly is making me feel bored? Is it because I want to be on top of, I want to be involved with a complex task that make my brain sweat? Or is it because I just know how to do my work and nothing, there's no dopamine rush. It's just, so there is someone somewhere in your organization right now that feels overwhelmed with complex things, such that if they bring you on board to support them, that will be something you look forward to every day. So you need to go and find it. The way that you can do that is to build relationships other than maybe your immediate team. I don't know how large your organization is. I don't know how. So this may not even be applicable. But if there are people outside of your department, or there is a department you're interested in, maybe your department just do not have those kind of things, then they're not gonna. Your departments cannot provide those kind of projects to you. So you need to go and shop for it. So you may need to. There was one. There's my former colleague and friend John that I brought to one of the mentoring sessions, and this was one of the things that he said about himself. He works in Standard Chartered in the UK. He said he had to go look for opportunities in another department because he was just interested in it. So you may think about that. Now, in my own case at work, I have my own day tasks, right? But there are other things that I do that is business unit wide. That is not just, and that really makes my brain sweat, because these are things that are not like the normal things I would typically do that I'm on my day job, right? So you can find a way to go create those opportunities. The second one I'm going to say to you is this: you can create something for yourself that you look forward to outside of work. Because sometimes the case may be that you are putting too much weight on your job and you are expecting a lot from a job that cannot really give that to you. So even if you go and look for those opportunities and those opportunities come to you, they will still make you feel bored because it's not really what you want to do. So it may be the case that you need to go and create something you love. So take this weekend, sit back and think about it, that what can I be using my time for really? that will make me happy. It can be you volunteering. Like I need volunteers in in the community. And if it's something you're interested in, something like that. Like I understand you're talking about your job, but I'm talking about outside of work. Are there things you love to do? Build on that. Find opportunities to build on that. You can create something. If you know something, you can teach it. So you can start creating videos to teach something you already know. Let me tell you this, even when you go to work, you will be so happy to jump off work so that you can do those things that you love. And the joy you get from doing those things you love outside of work will radiate, and you will be able to bring that back to your work. And even those things you're doing on your work now that you think is boring, you can begin to see like, oh, I can actually do this differently, and that is going to trigger another thing, and you can start beginning to enjoy your job on an awesome level. So sometimes your job is your job. Leave it there. Like leave it. If they can afford to make you feel happy, great. If they can't, great. You go and create something that makes you happy, that you're happy to go. It can be a hobby. It can be anything you like. It can be you teaching students. It can be you teaching new graduates. It can whatever. It can be anything that you truly enjoy. But you need to reflect on it, such that by the time you close from work, 5 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever that time is, you are so eager to go do those other things. And that gives you the joy that your job is not currently giving you. Okay. I would not go without saying that if you feel like you're just bored, like me, I was just bored. I didn't even look for something I can do outside of work. I didn't have that patience at the time. I just changed my job. I'm not saying change your job, but that's also an option. It's on the table. There are some jobs that we do that if you work where I work, I don't think anybody who does the kind of work I do will raise this kind of question. They would rather call you to come and say, Damilala, come and help me because it's just too much. So yeah, those would be my thoughts. When it comes to a competitive colleague, this is what I'm going to say to you. And I'm just going to be you are going to disagree with what I'm going to say because of what you have said, but I'm just going to put it out there anyways. Look, every single one of your colleagues you see right there are your competitors. I don't, I don't know. You see, this our bread and butter jam and whatever situation. Oh, it's affecting my mental health. Oh, let me tell you, every single person you work with is your competitor. We are a family here. We work together. I get it, but they are your competitors. Let me tell you why I know that they're your competitors. If anything happens in the company and management is going to have to draw the line and going to say, we need to reduce our head count and they need to pick A or B, management get into those situations. And it is those people that show up, show out, look like the work is their life, will pretty much almost remain than people who I just want to do my work and go. And the thing is, you may have a colleague who is very gentle, doesn't talk too much, but they are extremely competitive. I've worked with all shapes, forms, sizes from different cultures. I can tell you this for free. Some people just have different ways of showing that they are competitive. Some people, they will show it to you. They will throw you under the bus in a meeting. They don't care. So people will do whatever. But there are some people that they're more matured. They won't throw you under the bus in a meeting, but they will still throw you under the bus in one form or the other. Maybe in a meeting where you're annoying. Or they're just by their inaction, they're throwing you under their bus. So what do you need to do? First, recognize that your workplace is a competitive place. Do not think for a second that your workplace is not competitive. So that's why sometimes I don't like to say, oh, I'm the only person I'm competing with is myself. I personally, genuinely don't believe in it. That because you are not the only one who wants to get a promotion. You are not the only one who wants salary increase. You are not the only one who wants the big opportunities. You are not the only one who wants the career enhancing roles. So you are in competition. But what I want you to do is this. I want you to come to self-consciousness and self-awareness that this is a competitive place. All I need to do from it does not matter what somebody is doing or how somebody is showing that they are competitive. What matters is how I am dealing with my own self-esteem, how I'm dealing with it. I know that I am enough. I don't care if somebody is overdoing things, self-promoting themselves, That's their business. That's how they have decided to go about their career, right? So you ignore that, except they are stepping so hard on your toes. That is how they would typically operate. So that's their business. You do your own thing. Don't look at them. Now, in the event that they do anything in their overzealousness, they do anything that impacts you, what you need to do is to have the conversation. But you're not going to tell them how they're going to behave, or not going to tell them, oh, don't be competitive, right? That's not going to resolve it. What you need to do is to say, you did A, B, C, D, E, and these are the facts. And I don't think that was healthy in terms of how we work. So would you mind not doing this anymore? And then also have that conversation with your bosses or whoever. But that you are going to have, so, and someone who is competitive is competitive. There's nothing you can do about it. And usually people in top management, they like people who are like very like fierce. Like when they get into a meeting, they're direct, straight to the point, eating it. You may not be that person. So, but that's how they have chosen to run their own service. And that's absolutely fine. Focus on you, know that you are enough, give your best to your work. If they step on you, call it out immediately. Don't let it marinate. If they step on you, call it out. If they do something you don't like, let them know. That automatically means that you have created a boundary so they don't come near you with their overzealousness. Those are my thoughts. Okay? Is that okay, Damilala?
Thank you so much, ma. Yes, ma. That's okay, ma. And let's talk about the volunteering for the community later.
Okay, good, good.
Thank you so much,
Happy.
ma.
No worries. Victoria is also on the chat as well. She's one of the community managers. So if anybody is interested in being very active to support us, there's a lot we're doing. Um, please chat to Victoria and she would be able to see where you fit in. We're looking for people to help us drive the YouTube um systems or process. We are looking for people who drive different things. There's just a lot going on, right? So if you are interested in making sure that we give the best to everybody, please let us know. Good. Biolu,
Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I didn't know I would come up
morning.
quickly. All right. Always a pleasure to be here. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Coach Aurelua Bukola, and to everybody on the group. My question. I've come to onboarding, but I'll try to make it as brief as possible. So this question is stemming from an issue I think I discussed in one of the sessions I attended earlier, the session where we were talking about office politics, and
Yeah,
I'd shared about how I was facing a particular situation at work
yeah,
where I had this manager that was being difficult, right?
yeah.
I was able to recognize her as a high performer. She's one
Mm-hmm.
of my managers. She's not the person I report to directly, okay?
Yeah.
But, this person has been very difficult to work with, okay?
Mm,
So, yeah, the last time we spoke, it was, what we concluded was, just go do everything. You have to find a way to be able to work peacefully with this person. But what
mm,
happens where you're trying everything to work peacefully and the person has declared war? Right?
mm.
Like this person has declared war. So examples of the kind of things that she's doing, and I'll give a bit of a background. I've joined this team. This team is a long-standing team. They've been together for a period of time. I'm very
Mm,
new and I'm from a new country. I'm doubling on a roll with somebody. Doubling means we're doing the same things. So one
yeah.
person works from Monday to Wednesday. I work from Wednesday to Friday. So I'm
Mm,
doubling with somebody. Now, I think part of what I figure are the issues are she's worked for long with this person. And I also
mm,
see a bit of racism because they are also from the same country. They're not from the UK, but they're from the
mm,
same country, a country that is known for very neat, very, very close knit ties. So I've
yeah.
come in to displace this dynamic here. But this
Mm,
person, like, irrespective of what I do, it is
mm,
war. So I'm receiving
mm,
things like, when somebody sends you emails at 4:49 and says
mm,
urgent, those kind
mm,
of things. And then the next morning you resume to work, and then everybody's copied into an email saying, I told you to do this. You didn't tell the time and all of that. I'm trying not
mm,
to be reactive. I'm trying
mm,
to not react to every email and say, oh, you sent it at 4:49, or you did this, you did that. But
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, in such a situation, what
Mm.
does a person do?
Yeah. No, thank you for that. And I totally get you 100%. I get you. And I know this to be an issue. Now, this is what I would say to you. I think you need to create a clear communicated boundaries. So this is what I want you to do. You need to identify examples of when that person has overstepped, factual overstepping. I need you to create it. Now, first, I think for starters, we worry when things are awkward. If you want to become a leader in your career, you must rise above that. When things, it's fine for someone not to like you at work. It is okay. Don't overthink someone not liking you, or someone not calling you into one meet. It's just not all those things. Don't You have too much going on with you, Biolu. You don't have time for that. 100%. You don't have time for that. Now, this is what I want you to do. In cases where you've identified, for instance, someone sends you an email at 4:59, or something happens, they are factual, they are real. What you need to do is to call that out and have the conversation with someone more senior. Now, I remember saying this earlier. I would typically go straight to the person first and say to the person, these are the things I have observed going on between us. And I really want us to, I don't want us to work 100% well together. It's asking for too much. I just want us to come and work and go, right? Now, if that is an option, if that's still an option on the table, get those examples well detailed out, sit with them and have the conversation first to say, look, I see it, I understand it. I may not be your best person that you have right now, but I am here to do my work. And I think I am fantastic at it. If there is anything that you're concerned about me, the way I show up, the way I do my work, would you be willing to let me know? It will be so important because I will then know how to sort of make sure that I'm showing up the way. And it depends, because if this person is not your boss, I don't think you should be having the conversation. But if this person is your boss that you report to, or a more senior member of the team, but not your direct boss, you can still have the conversation. Now, after that's done, I want you to go and meet someone who has the authority as well, just to register that this is going on, and also to put in your facts. To say you've had the conversation with the person in question and you're just registering it with the person with authority. It's so important because you don't know what's being said when you're not there. So usually what I see people do is they don't take action. You're like, anything is okay. I'll just be managing. I'll just be on one side. I'll just be doing my own thing. You can't be doing your own thing. Again, the workplace is very competitive. You can't be doing your own thing. You need to bring your thing into an email and send it to everybody who needs to know. Don't do your own thing, because when someone is feeding your boss all sort of lies, all sort of things in your boss's mind, remember the concept of mental real estate. In your boss's mind, Biolu, I don't know. I can't really place Biolu because I can see the work she's doing is great, but what people are saying or what ABCD is saying about her does not correlate. It's because Biolu is not going to the boss to counter everything they're saying. It's not that you know that they're saying something to her, but you must almost always assume that someone is saying something negative about you to your boss. I have been long in career to know that that happens everywhere. So have that conversation with your boss, have that conversation with this person. It is a registration of your concern. Okay. Now, if you want to hear my thoughts about you, I don't think you should care. And that is one of the ways you build power. Awkward situations are the hardest for people who are just growing their career or in the middle of their career. Right now in my career, I don't really care. In an awkward situation, or we're in a meeting, someone tries to throw me under the bus. And it's so glaring that they're trying to throw me under the bus. I am not that person that will be like, I leave everything to God. No, God lives in me, inside of me. So I'm not leaving nothing to no. So you go in that instance, it's not that you grow up, you're doing your work well. Just get the facts and state the facts. So don't leave things to God. Now, when it comes to working with people, you already know there's not everybody that is going to like you. Do not care about that. That is not your business. In fact, by the time they say you don't really care about that, they sort of move on. You move on, they move on. You do your thing, they do their thing. Okay? But I want you to register that concern because it's clearly a concern. Register it, but then move on. Don't expect them to buy you cupcakes or invite you to meetings. So you don't care. You that's not your business. Do your own thing. If you have opportunity to build relationships with other people, build relationships with other people. Don't force it. Don't invite them to anything. If they don't invite you, don't go. If they don't invite you, don't greet them excessively. Hello, hi, move on. Do your work. Don't, because the more you're trying to be friends with them, the more power you're giving to them to be nasty. Okay, so face what you're doing, move on. And yeah, but I want you to register your concern. That aspect is very important because if things go south, at least it needs to be a record that you were outspoken about it. Okay.
Yeah, can I just say a very big thank you to you for that? And yes, thank you so much. I'll give you inside gist after.
No worries. No worries. Okay, thank you very much, Biolu. um okay, give me a moment. I think Dan Ladi.
Hi, Coach Arulua. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much for hosting this mentoring session.
Yeah,
So, I recently joined one of the professional services firm in a
yeah,
junior role, and so
yeah,
I wanted to ask, as someone who generally struggles with, relationship building and networking, what would you
yeah,
say is like the most effective way to build a relationship with my colleagues as a new hire? So,
yeah,
with particular focus on my manager and partner, basically.
yep. Good. Now, thank you. When I joined the Big Fours in about 11 years ago, oh, I I don't like talking to nobody. I will see some of my colleagues, they were so good. They'll be talking to a senior manager, they'll be chatting with a manager. Ah. In fact, it's giving me goosebumps as I'm talking about it. I just hated it. I just didn't understand. For me, it was like, what was all this? Just do your work and go home. Okay. So they were buttering them up, they were I my dearest friend. Everybody who's been with me for a while, my friend Tomilola Abiodun. Oh my god, she's so good. In fact, there was a lady, then she's now a partner, who people would typically want to avoid because obviously she's the very let's get the work done. And people like to avoid that lady. But my friend cracked her and she became like a work daughter. I'm like, what was all this? So my friend would be like, oh, she's not that bad. Oh, she's this. I'm like, get out. And so I just did not understand it, right? And so I did not build any meaningful relationships in the first 4 years of my career. Nothing. I don't like it. The only people I had good relationships with were my peers. Oh, I enjoy. They used to call me. One of them used to call me Mama di Mama, something like that, because I'm just like that, full of life with my peers. But if you say anything up, I don't want to be talking to them. That was a big mistake that I made. My time there would have been more enjoyable if I invested in it, and I will share with you practical things you need to do. Number one, they are people, human beings. It's like me, like this. I'm a manager, and I'm managing a very large team. I've always, since I became a manager, I've always managed large teams, and I can chat to just anybody. Intern, I want them to talk to me because I just want to talk to them. I, but I can see how sometimes when they're having conversations with me, they're like, I'm like, but I can talk to you. It's okay. Like, it's just okay. Let's have a normal chat, right? there is a there is an aspect of, because they are in leadership positions, you feel like you don't want to disturb them. There is that aspect. Then you also feel like I don't even know what to say if I'm talking to them. and there is the aspect of I don't just know, it's just weird. And from our own upbringing as well, anybody who is above us, we were not really cultured to talk to people who are we are cultured to respect them and not to make them friends. So if you've come from that kind of background, it will be very difficult. But we're going to break it this morning. We are going to break it. Now, there are little things you can do. Say hello in the morning. Walk up to your manager. Walk up to where your manager is sitting in the morning and say, "How are you? What did you do over the weekend?" Then they'll be like, "Oh, I took my kids out. Blah, blah, blah." Yeah, what's your kid's name? Get the name. Make sure you remember when they tell you their kid's name. Remember. Oh, my wife had her birthday over the weekend. Oh, really? Remember that date. Put it in your calendar. Oh, whatever. They will tell you all sorts. Then go away. Don't overload them with talk. If you are the type that talks too much, watch yourself. Just small, because you're just starting. So just a little bit of talk. That's day one. Day two, talk to them again. Say, ask them if you will notice if they love football. Maybe you love football as well. You can start that. That is your connection. Start that as well. Maybe the next weekend be like, did you see that game? Did you start there? Your partner, if they sit in closed offices, walk into their office and say, "Hey boss, how are you? Whatever. How are you? How did your weekend go? Anything interesting? Did you do anything interesting over the weekend?" You will see how they will be relaxed. They want to talk to you. Now, when you're just starting, it will be hard, but I promise you that is a muscle. Little by little, you're going to start playing out of character, and before you know it, is going to become a character for you, right? Let me tell you my own instance. I've just joined a new unit. I sit on the floor. So on the floor where I sit, there is a place where everybody sits, the partners, the directors, all the big guns. They sit there. I would sit there because why not? Okay. Some people will be like, "Oh, I don't want to sit beside the partner." Eh? Why will I be working for you? And I don't want you to see me. No, you have to see me because I'm working very hard for you. So when I come in the morning, usually the place is always very quiet. So when I come in the morning, I'll be like, "Hey, morning." And when I'm saying good morning, I'm not, "Good morning." No. When you call me, see the way I'm talking, you say, "Good morning." Good, like everybody will raise their head to say, "Who is this?" You say, "Good morning." You come in with confidence and tap people on their shoulder and say, "Good morning. How did your day go?" You go around the floor, walk the floor, go around the floor. "How are you? Did you have a nice weekend?" Talk to them as though they are your friends. Have that when you've said that good morning, people will tell you how their weekend went. They went golfing, they went playing, whatever. Remember all of those things, right? Then go and sit down. When people are having conversation, join in the conversation on the floor. Join. Don't bury your head in the work. I have hard work is never enough. In fact, by the time you're burying your head, all the opportunities, all the promotion, all the salary increase, everything is just passing. You are working. Because it's in those tiny conversations that you build relationship. Let me tell you the fact. This is true. For anywhere. If someone wants to promote you, there are two of you. Both of you have merits because that's the starting point. You're good, the other person is good. But the other person has fantastic relationship with the decision makers. They're not going to promote you. No. They're not going to promote you. You are not the one they're going to just don't worry about being promoted. There are two of you. One person has both of you are equally good. In fact, let me tell you, maybe you are even excellent, but the other person gets the job done. It's enough. But they have relationship. It's enough. Because people want people feel connected to the people who are interested in them, right? So why would they promote you when there's another person who is just as good? But the person over the years, I've said hello, has walked into their office. I said, "Oh, what can I help you with?" Or and even if opportunities are coming on, because now this thing is a thing of the mind. As I'm talking to you right now, on my team, the most person I'm thinking about is the person who has consciously said, "Oh, already, do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want a cup of tea? Um, um, let's go get lunch." This, those kind of things, like having conversations with me. "How can I help you? Is there anything on your plate? Already, you look stressed. Is there something I can quickly do for you?" Why will I want to remember another person when that person is there? So that's how you build, isn't little tiny things. Another thing is this. I don't know how you work, whether it's hybrid, full time, remote, or whatever. If it's hybrid, go into the office. Don't look at your transportation fare. By the time they promote you, it will cover all your costs. Go into the office in person. And when you go into the office in person, go by them, have conversations. Okay? When they schedule fun times, let's go for drinks, let's go for games. That's not the time that you are going home. Most times it is not convenient, but you are intentionally building those relationships. So go for those happy hour because you want to be likable. You want to be that person who is showing up everywhere. When they turn like this, they're saying that. When they turn like this, they're saying, and let me tell you, you don't have to be that good. Though. I'm not even lying to you right now. You don't have to be like the most technical person. Just be decent on your job and do your job. You see all those I have to be the best, very best. If you are the very best, but they don't like you, forget it. I've been in career to know this. Okay. Now, when they are another thing you can do is whenever your boss gives an idea and that idea is not wrong, tell them that they are right. It's important. You see all those people that will be fighting. Someone is saying something or someone is saying something, giving an idea. Your boss is giving an idea on a call, on an office call, and so people will be fighting the idea. I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do it. Your initial answer is let's try. That's your initial answer every single time. Even I used to work for a boss. He has 5 billion ideas. 5 billion. Every of the 5 billion is doable. When we get there to the meeting, we'll be like, people should do this. We'll be like, yes, let's try. Let's try. You see that let's try. I don't do anything. What in the meeting? In the meeting, yeah, we can actually try that. Oh, brilliant idea, fantastic idea. Yes, that's how this is. That's how you roll. You see all those people fighting your boss in meetings. You think if he wants to, I don't even know how. Don't do that. So be the voice of positivity, right? Be the voice of positivity. Obviously, there will be some very awkward ideas that even him, he knows that is a lie, that it's not going to work. But that one, you can say, "Are you sure about that?" And then, but never say something cannot be done. And those are the little things that you can do to build relationships. Let me tell you something I did just this morning. One of my team members told me yesterday, it's a new team, told me yesterday that we were just having normal conversation. I'm like, what's your plan for the weekend? And it was like, oh, it's his birthday today. So it's gonna go out with friends, whatever. It's a very nice grand plan. So one of the things I did this morning was to wake up when I got up, was to send him an email and copied everybody, all my partners, directors, everybody. And in that email, I said, happy birthday to him, greeted him, and told him that he was a bright light on the team. And then I sent that email this morning. Whether is one of my senior associates, it does not matter whether I don't have to do anything big. You see that one email that I have sent, and I've copied everybody. Everybody knows that in this team we respect each other, we celebrate each other. And for him, I don't know how many managers he's ever worked with that has sent him an happy birthday message on a Saturday since he started working. I don't know how many. So that's how to build win trust, win people over, win trust over. If they tell you it's their birthday, it's simple. Buy them a pen, buy them something small. If you see something you like, buy it. I've bought things for my colleagues very well. My junior colleagues, on their birthdays, I'll buy them cake, I'll buy them small cupcakes, I'll buy chocolates, whatever. Because my salary is not just for me to be paying house rent and whatever. A portion of my salary goes back into my craft, and this is one of it. It's like business acquisition cost. Okay, nice. And Daladi, I don't know if this was helpful in any way.
It was helpful very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Good. Blessing. Is Blessing
Um,
there? Oyinka Blessing. Yep.
yes, I am.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry. I my hand has been up since,
Hmm?
and
I
I've been
apologize.
skipped. Yeah.
I apologize, Dolapo. Okay. Sorry about that. Blessing will come back to you. Let Dolapo go. Sorry, Dolapo. Go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Thank you very much. Okay, my own question is regarding career transition.
Yep.
I studied accounting and I've done professional certifications on accounting, but
Yep.
unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any role in accounting. I found myself in sales and marketing. I've been doing sales and marketing for over a year now, but I don't really feel so much joy. But I've always wanted the accounting side and the finance
Yep.
side, and I don't
Yep.
know what to do. I'm in a country where it's not so easy to just switch because of the
Yep.
regulations in the
Mm,
country. So, but my passion is finance and accounting, but I don't know what to do. I cannot apply for junior role because of the
mm,
situation, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused.
mm. Okay. Now I don't know the country you're in, but that sounds like a big one. And did you say you already have your qualification as a chartered accountant?
Yes, I have ICANN and in the final level for ACCA.
Okay, good. Would you mind? What country are you in? Would you mind?
I'm in the UK.
Good. Yeah. It's not good to say everything on someone's mind, but yeah. So I'm not going to say what's on my mind. Um, good. Dolapo, would you tell me? So how did you travel to the UK recently, or have you always been in the UK?
I traveled to the UK for the studies. So I did my master's in the UK and
All right.
yeah.
Good. Okay. Now it's possible. I don't see why not. It's possible for you to get a job. I've mentored a couple of guys who came just like you to do their masters here and they landed their job. Great stuff. Biolu is on this call. Biolu is on this call. Now, Biolu was the one who talked about issues at work, whatever. Biolu is a businesswoman. She's not all this one that she's saying here is just I don't even know why she's doing that job, but whatever. Biolu is on this call. It is our role to get she has tons and tons of testimonials and all of that. That's what she does. Jolapo, I'm going to connect you with Biolu. You're going to reach out to Biolu. Let's see what Biolu can do with you. Get into whatever she's got. I don't know, but she's a career development coach and she serves people in the UK to get the kind of job that they need to get. So she's going to take you through our program, whatever that is. But I think it will be something that you would immensely benefit from. I know that to be true. Now, you know me, I am a general general mentor, general coach. So I may not be able to, when it comes to like really helping you to land the job itself, I may not be able to get you there, but Biolu will get you there. But what I would say to you is that it's possible. I have, like I said, I've mentored people who have gone out to. There's this particular guy that I'm so proud of. He's moved like 3 banks now. He's moved in finance function, 3 banks in the last 2 years. And he also came in as a student. He's moved 3 banks already. So that's how I know that it's possible. You have your icon, you don't even need it. I know usually they will say, oh, SIMA or whatever, but you are doing ACC already and you're in the last paper or the last stage. It's fine. So I know it's possible because I've seen people do it and I've seen Biolu coach people do it. So I know that it is possible. So if you're confused, there is solution on this call. There's solution right here, right now. So Biolu, I don't know if you can drop your LinkedIn profile on in the chat box for Dolapo to pick it up. So Dolapo send Biolu a DM and take it from there. And I would keep chatting to Biolu and probably to you as well to see how that journey is going. But I don't doubt that if you work with Biolu, let's see that by January 2025 at the latest, Biolu, I'm giving guarantee on your behalf right now that something good is going to come out of it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much. I just see the light already. Thank you so much.
Same here, same here, same here. Yeah. So she's the expert in all those things. So she's going to help you all those CV things, everything you need to position yourself. All those things that she does. I don't know. So yeah, but it's possible. It's possible. There are loads of industries that you can work with. There are accounting firms, there are small ones, there are big ones, there are plenty places. There's no regulation that stops you from getting the job that you need. There's no, obviously, except maybe you've not finished your, have you finished your master's program?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Now, what are we talking about? That job is coming. We're getting that job. 100%. 100%. We're getting that. Don't worry about it.
Amen.
Don't worry about it.
Thank
But
you.
in the meantime, what I will say to you is, I know you don't like sales that you're doing right now, but let me tell you, there is no there is no opportunity, there is no experience that is a waste. So every day you show up to that sales job, show up 100% because you're moving to finance. By the time you get into one meeting, someone will just say something about sales, you just be like, but that's wrong now. So you will now come up as you have experience in sales, and this is it. You will bring in more color to your finance role because of your sales experience. So right now that you're doing sales, I know it's not the best, I know you don't like it. Show up every day, show up good to that job, do what you need to do, get all the experience you can get out of there. That's going to help you when you get the finance role. But I am not going to get it. That's a lie because that's going to happen. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Great stuff. So sorry, Blessing, you can go now.
No, all right, thank you, Ma. My question is this. So there's this colleague of mine at work. Let's say I'm managing this very small team, tiny
Mm-hmm,
team, because
mm-hmm.
I'm working for a startup. But I've noticed this
Yep.
colleague of mine, every time they assign him a role, like he's this person that you assign him a role, and I feel he's not putting his best into delivering. So
Mm-hmm,
most of the time, because maybe I'm the person that my lead will always say oversee what this person is doing, I end up being the one to take it over because maybe what he worked on, what he presented is not even halfway. And he's someone
mm-hmm.
that you give feedback upon feedback, and I'm not seeing that improvement. So most of the time I'm the one taking up roles. And I don't want to come out straight and be that person who kind of snitches. So
Mm.
I've called him, I've spoken to him a couple of times that I'm not seeing improvements. I'm talking to you because I consider you a friend, but then you keep giving me this work. And I don't want it to be like I've gone to the lead and tell the person, okay, this is what's going on. And that will make me a bad person. And I'm overwhelmed because I also have my own task. I have my personal things I'm working on. And that's like adding extra work on me. So I don't know how to navigate that.
No, this one is very straightforward. You are going to the lead. Why are you wasting your own time? This one is very straightforward. You see all this, I don't want to look like a bad person. It does not work in a corporate environment. You're going to bear the brunt. Do you understand how this thing works, though? Someone is not pulling their weight. The boss needs to know. It's not so because you would then be picking up their slack. You will be overwhelmed. You will not be able to do more strategic things that you should be doing. Then your boss sees you as inefficient because you're not doing all the strategic things you need to be doing, or you're not doing the strategic things you need to be doing very well. And then you're protecting them because you don't want to be a bad person. Is not being a bad person part of your KPI?
No?
No, it's not. It's not. No, like that's where we get things wrong. I lead teams. If I feel like there's someone on my team that is a weak link, even though I'm the manager, the senior manager, the director, even the partner will know. I don't play around because everybody needs to pull their way. Let me tell you why this is important. The lead needs to know if they need to bring in somebody else that is more efficient so that the work can go as it should. I don't think you understand the impact on you. If you see, and sometimes some people, because you keep covering for them, they're never going to change. I hope you know. So you're going to continue to do what you're doing. If you want to change the story, Monday morning, that conversation is going to be on the table. Everybody's going to have the round table, and you're going to raise it with facts. No, when it comes to workplace is not, I don't want to be a bad, you came in a bad person, remain that and keep being fierce. If you want to grow to the top, you will work with different characters, different kind of people. Once I see someone not pulling their weight, obviously I'll have the first conversation. But if it's a no-no, it's a no-no. In fact, I got onto a team, and my first week on that team, and I had some questions. I asked for some meetings that some people were not willing to have. Immediately, I flagged it to the director. I'm like, I can't work on this team because I am not getting the cooperation that I need. And if I need to be here, but most, and is how you also carry yourself, because I know that I have a lot to offer them. So if the people on the team are not going to be collaborative, then I'm not going to spend my time there. I'd rather go to a team that is collaborative. Do you get what I mean? So the lead needs to know if there is it's like in your house, there is a leaking tap in your house. You're not like, I don't want to be a bad person. I don't want to call the plumber. That's how he's sounding. That's it to me. That's what I'm hearing. So
All
go to your
right.
lead, explain it. And let me tell you, when you're having this kind of conversation, it's not that, oh, this person is bad. No, you will go with your receipts. On so day, they didn't do B, so you had to pick it up. And it's not that, so I had to pick it up. Oh. That's not where you're stopping. Oh. So you're not going to say, because I had to pick up their slack, I then had to put in 2 extra hours every single day of the week, which led to 10 hours of overtime work from me, which is not helping me from a mental standpoint. That's how you land. So this is a real conversation. It's very easy and it's very straight. But that conversation needs to be had. When you do that reporting, it does not matter how someone is looking at you. How no,
Thank
even
you, ma.
with some of my clients, someone is not doing what they need to do. In a meeting, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to tell you the date I sent you to do something, what we agreed, what you did in your front, in your presence, so that you know that with me, when you are coming into a meeting with me, you know that I'm going to come with my facts. So better be ready. If you don't do that, this person will continue to take advantage of you, because that's what I see that is going on.
All right. Thank you so much, ma.
Good, thank you. I think it's Ibuoye Olalekan Shola. Shola, are you there? Okay. Can we go to Savior? Daladi, do you still have anything to say? I can see your hands is still up.
Oh, sorry, that was from the last question. I'm dropping it now.
Great stuff.
Can I go
Savior.
on? Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. Good morning. You're mute. Savior, are you there? Oh, I think we lost him. Can you guys hear me though?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
we can.
Okay, all right. Shola, are you there? Can you go on?
Yes, good afternoon, Coach Bukola.
Hi.
Thanks for all you do. So I
Thank
have
you.
a question. I
Yep.
joined a company, say 3 months ago, as an EA to one of the C-class expatriates. And
Yep.
ever since then, my boss has been a loving and a kind person. In all honesty, he has been supportive to my
Yep.
career growth and all of that. So, but there is this lady who is also an EA to one of the top bosses in the organization
Okay.
and happens to be some kind of, say, mentee or daughter, so to say, to my boss. And
Yep.
I've observed that she has been getting in my way professionally now. I mean, she has been doing things that is usually causing a kind of argument or rift between my boss and myself. And I've tried to
Okay.
caution her like a friend to a colleague, but she's someone that my boss really loves, so to say. I don't know how they got close to
Mm,
themselves. I'm
mm,
not after that. But my boss would always say, Shola, be a professional. And in this same burst will always, support this lady right in my presence. So I don't really know how to
mm,
balance these two scenarios because I'm just 3 months on the job. I'm trying to present my
mm,
job and also not. I'm offend my boss now. So I don't really know how to
mm.
balance these two so I don't know if you can give an
Yeah.
advice to that regard. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, this is one of the tricky things, right? Um, she's an influencer, and with influencers, so my metric, the people you need to build relationships with, the decision makers. In this case, your boss is the decision maker, then your immediate boss. So your immediate boss is into has taken the two position. He's the decision maker and he's your immediate boss. So you need to have a good relationship with those two because they determine where you land. The next person is the influencer. That babe is the influencer. There's no fighting this one because you don't know what bonds them. Okay. It can be the case that she had worked with him before and she has been fabulous and he can't do without getting her advice on things. Or they may even know themselves from maybe before the job. Or maybe he got at the job. You don't know how far back they go. So you don't want to go into that mess that you don't want to go into, right? So she is the influencer. Don't want now. Don't want now. You see that? You see that kind of person? This is how you deal with them. You become their friend. You will you will walk your way into their heart. You'll make them feel superior. In fact, even if you know the answer, you ask them for their answer. You'll be like, by the way, I know you are close to the boss. You know the boss now. You are the help me. Boss wants us to do this and this. What do you think? So you will not it will not be like you are reporting to her as if she is the most important thing. She's not. But you're going through her. So you'll be like, the boss, he said we should do this thing. How do you deal with this kind of thing? So she will tell you and all of that. So you bring her so close to you. And I don't know. It's not going to take anything away from you because your work is going to be there. And that's your end game because you say you love your job and you want to retain your job. Abby, if you want to retain it, it comes with this baggage. And that's what you need to do. Draw her closer. These are situations I have personally been in and I understand it. So you draw her closer. So tell her, there's this tricky thing that I'm going through, whatever. What do you think? How do you, my boss, how do you think I can do this for him? So she'll be feeling important, feeling important. She'll be giving you all the gist. Oh, she will also be telling you some things you may not even know about your own boss. You are just there for 3 months now. So you are very new. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know. Even this your boss is saying is very supportive, whatever. You don't know what's going on at all. So you're very, very new. So you need to make it look like she is after your boss is adding you. So you're going to automatically switch that thing in your brain to say she's a boss too. So I know she's your fellow EA, but in this case, she's not though, because if she badmouths you so much, it can lead to job loss. Like it can be that bad, especially in a setting where there are no systems, processes, and all of that. So you need to identify that. You need to be a friend. You need to ask her for lunch, tea. Let's go out. Let's do this. Just make her your friend. Just show that you are on her side. So every time she's having conversations with your boss, that you are not there. Someone, you know, recently I joined a team where someone said to me that There are some people that they are the ones that determine what happens here. Avoid them. Ah, ah. Someone was telling me that, oh, there are some people in this place that you have just joined. They are the ones who run the show. In the same breath, you're not telling me to avoid them. Ah, ah. I don't understand it. Do you think that I came all the way from Nigeria to count the bridge in this place? I should avoid the people that are making the decision. Ah, I don't understand that one, Sha. So I'm like, no, I don't do that. Me, I don't do that. So whoever they are, so go to them. Even something that does not concern me, I'm like, I just want to hear what you think about this. They'll be like, oh no, I'm gonna help you. Don't worry, I'm gonna help you. Hey. What do you mean avoid them? No, you're gonna place them on a pedestal. That's what you're gonna do. You're going to place them on a pedestal and you're going to serve them like you're serving your boss. A year from now, you see that EA may not be there again. A year from now, they may not be there again. They may get another job, another opportunity may come up for them. They may not be there again. But if they ever, before they leave, if they make you lose your job, is your loss. Don't say Kama. Kama is not going to do anything to them. Nothing. They will be fine. So I need you to be wise. Okay? So that person is your boss. The friend is like your boss's, is like your boss's wife. You're not saying, but she's just the boss's wife. Does that happen? Like, do you see that? Like, it's like I've also been in an influencer position before on a very massive thing. I've been there. So I know that the main decision maker, if you're telling him anything, he will ask you, have you talked to Ore? And I enjoyed that position. Hey, I enjoyed. If you don't talk to me, you're going to talk to me. I'm wasting your time. You're wasting your time. So I determine who is joining our team, who is not joining our team, who we should let go next year, who should stay. I will draw up everything. So if you are being rude to me or you are doing anyhow, you're out. Yes, now because I can't deal with that energy. I can't deal with that energy because I'm the influencer. Do you see what it takes? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. ABC. So once you know it, very soon you too, you become the influencer. And then people too will have to say yes, sir. That's how life works. So don't forget, it doesn't matter wherever it is you find yourself. So once you understand the power play, align with where the decisions are being made. Even if the person is younger than you, Kinikon is not even your, it doesn't matter. Align with where decisions are being made. Okay? So that's what I will say to you. Don't fight her, don't caution her, don't say, oh, you are stepping in my way. If I
All right,
buy her
thank you so
lunch
much.
on Monday, start from there. No worries.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Those are my thoughts. Thank you. Savior, sorry, we lost you the other time.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back. Good morning, ma'am. So glad
I
to be in this room full of energy. So my question goes thus. I'm a recent graduate of marketing from Nigeria. I have a skill in web development and technical support. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the other world. When I mean the other world, the outside Nigeria, I'm trying to get something out there that I could do more like a remote role. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just starting out. What would be your advice for such a person? Like from drafting CV, handling application and others.
Yeah. Biolu again. I'm going to send you to Biolu again. Um, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I know she's got communities that I just know she will be of. Biolu, why did you join this school? I don't know why you joined this school, but it's like
I'm following you everywhere. Everywhere you go, I'm following you. I'm your shadow.
Oh, okay. The reason why I'm saying I'm calling out, and it's not just calling out Biolu, or if there was somebody else who had seen with results and which what's it called? It's not the first time on my post you see me. If someone is asking a question that is not my line, I would refer them to whoever I have seen do that. So that's just how I roll, because I won't help you. There's nothing I'm going to tell you now that is going to help you, because I'm not a freelancer. I use freelancers for part of my work that I do, but I'm not a freelancer. So I don't know how to how to get there. I don't know. So I know it's possible, definitely, to sell your skills online for a lot of people, including, so for instance, if I was looking for someone to help me create a landing page now, if I see you on Fiverr or whatever, I'll contract you. Just this past month, I've spent hundreds of pounds contracting out services. So I know, but I have to get yourself into the face, become visible, right? And so that people can give you those opportunities. Now, I'll say connect with Biolu as well. She'll get you through the whole process. But these are the couple of things I'm going to say to you. Number
Okay,
one,
ma'am.
this is a brand that you want to create. You want to begin to sell a service or a skill that you need. Number one is you need to develop that skill to become competitively marketable in a commercial skill. So if you want to do that, it means that you must bring your skill. So if you are a beginner, so it's like a T. I talked about the T concept in one of my videos. So it's like a T. So you're a beginner at many things, including web develop. I don't know your level. So I'm just talking generally. So a beginner. So this is the horizontal part, is the beginner level. Then in that particular one you want to build a brand on, you need to start thinking going the vertical, which is this line. T has the horizontal and vertical. So you go deep
Yes, ma'am.
into that skill. If it's web development, if it's whatever, go do that. Read, bring up your own knowledge, because obviously Biolu is not going to teach you the technical part of your work, but she's going to teach you the business side, is what I think she's going to help you develop and whatever. So how to package your offer, do this, do that, all of those things, I think and it's always good to have that primary level of support. So you need to build your skill. So you need to identify who does exactly what you're doing right now. If they are showing up online, how are they showing up online? And model them. A lot of people will not tell you what they're doing back end. So Biolu will be able to help you with that aspect. But in terms of like the technical, let's say web development, who are the top web development guys on LinkedIn, on Instagram, or whatever? How do they show up? How many posts do they do? What kind of posts do they make? What do I need to do? So that you begin to build a brand and be visible, right? So you want to think about that. And for you want the fact that your first customer coming through the door is satisfied with your service. So it means that you need to build your skill. You don't want people coming to you and then you're giving them the work that a toddler can do, right? So use this time to build your skill and all of that. And you can, I'm not saying you don't have skill, but whatever level of skill you have, keep building it into becoming a thorough expert at it. And obviously, there are multiple parts of business. There's sales, there's marketing, there's building your sales funnel, packaging your offer, distribution, all of those things. It's just a big world out there in terms of things you need to do. But I think little things like freelancing, even the small ones that you can do, like how to do your portfolio, all those things people talk about, optimization, really is the queen there. I don't know all those things. But yeah, so those are my thoughts for it. But I think it's absolutely possible. I think you can thrive building your own business. I think you can build a brand around it. And I think you can put yourself out there to continue to get the business deals that you need to get. Okay?
Thank you so very much, ma. We appreciate this conversation, and thank you for your morning posts. I do love them.
No worries. Thank you. Great stuff, Taiwo.
Good afternoon, Coach Ore. Please, am I audible enough?
Hello.
Good
Yeah, you
afternoon.
are.
Okay, thank you so much for all you do for the community. I this community has been of great help to me. Thank you so much. So my name is Taiwo. I am in my first year of entry level. I belong to sales department. I work with an agricultural business firm. So there's this my line manager he happens to be the brain or the engine room for my department. So he knows a lot. So and him knowing a lot, of course, it's expected that he's going to guide we new trainees, we that we are new in the department, to learn from him. However, he has a lot on his hands. He's very busy. He's very busy. It happens that when we are given projects, business projects to do, okay, and he's going to give us a particular topic. Funny enough, he will just give us a topic that, oh, this is a project that of course is going to have an impact on the business unit which you are supposed to work on. And of course, as line manager is my supervisor coupled with my other colleagues. So there are times when I do my work, my project, I would have worked on it and I'm going to send a message to him. So I've done this, please help me proofread it, help me review it. Is there any addition, subtraction? What do you suggest for me to, do? And response from him is late. He's going to respond very late. There are times I respond like less than 48 hours to the time that I'm supposed to have my presentation. And on the presentation floor now, others that are there, the HR, other business leads, when they are there, they will see you as someone that maybe you are not ready or you are not prepared. Because for the last presentation that I had with my other teams, my other team members, he was like, no, that we are not really into the system already, whereas he's our coach, our supervisor, which are supposed to guide us, put us through. But when you come on board, it's more like you are giving your own contribution towards the later time. So now I even got an info now that I have been posted to work directly closely with him for the next few months now. So I want to ask, how can I navigate my work with him? Because me being there, I have to learn what I have to learn from him despite his very, very tight schedule. So I would really appreciate your advice on how I can work with him, and knowing his kind of personality, how can I deal with that, ma? Thank you very
Can
much.
I ask you a simple question?
Okay.
Sorry, I think. Okay, go on mute first. Okay, good. Can I ask you a question? I think my question is it generally a kind person? Like, it's just that he's busy, or is someone that you can talk to? Is it that kind of person? Do you think?
Actually, I don't see him as that. But like you mentioned, having an influencer, there's an influencer in my department who I think can help me with that. He's my NSM.
Okay, good. Now, this is what I will say to you, Tayo. It is not every leader that you work with that is a teacher. Some people are good, but they avoid teaching. And for different reasons. Number one, they may not take it as priority. They may think, some people also have the mindset of, if I teach you what I know, then why am I the boss? Something has to keep me in this position as the boss. As crude as that sounds, it happens. Okay. Now, I don't doubt that he's very busy, but if he's someone who has his team's best interest at heart and is a true leader to the core, he would prioritize doing what he needs to do at the right time and with his team and making sure it develops his team. I'm saying this with my very full chest. If you are a leader, and that goes for everybody on this call, if you're a leader, what makes you a leader is your ability to pump into those that you are leading. Simple. Now, if that is not happening, Taiwo, and if you need to go through somebody to tell him, then don't have that conversation, because you will tell the person, you don't know how the person will relate it to him. You can't control that move of information. So this is what I would say to you. You have a lot of work to do. Someone teaching you on the job is just one out of many blessings. You can also do it for yourself. Okay. And this is what I will say to you. When it comes to sales, marketing, report writing, presentation, yada, 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 they are all online for free. You will need to be put on a drastic training program, Tyrell, because that interaction between you and your boss is not working. That interaction of your boss feeding you is not working. So you need to go and look for food elsewhere. And it's doable. There is, so you would, number one, itemize 5 top sales people in the world that are kind enough to share their stories, their experiences, all of that online. Identify 5. As I am now, I can tell you 3. I'm not a salesperson, but I can tell you 3 guys. There's someone called Russell Bronson. I think that's his name, Russell Bronson. There's someone called Grant Cardone. There's someone called Dan Locke. Those 3 guys. You will find, I don't know, did you get the spelling of the names? Let me see if I can put it here. Yeah, someone is already putting it up for you. Victoria is putting it up for you. There is Grant Cardone and then there's Russell Bronson. Those 3 guys are no. There is another guy, Chris Doe, but Chris Doe is more of, I think he's part of selling as well. I think Chris Doe is, hold on, let me do the number 3, Victoria, don't worry. I think this is his name also. If you're not going to, okay, thank you. Number 4 is, I think, Chris Doe. Doe. I think that's his name. Yeah. I'm giving you 4. Look for the last one. Okay. Those are pretty much your top salespeople in the world that are showing. No, Alex Omozi. This will change your life, Taiwo. But you have to do what I'm going to tell you to do. Now, you see these guys that I've given you 5 guys, right? These are guys that do selling and anything around selling. You will go and clear your Instagram. You see all those Instagram where I don't know what is on your Instagram right now. I don't know what is there. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what's there. You will follow all these guys on Instagram. You follow them on TikTok. You follow them on LinkedIn. You go to Spotify. You go and you will go and follow them on their podcast. When you are going home in the night, you will listen to their content. When you're coming back, when you're going to work, you listen to their content. When you're taking a long walk, when you're driving, whatever it is you're doing, let their content be part of your day. Take it in. Take everything in, taking their content. Tyro, by the 1st of January 2025, come and tell me how your career has changed because you follow these guys. Your career will change. Now, there are some tools you also need to invest in, right? ChatGPT or the equivalent to help you with report writing, especially if your organization does not have their own version of ChatGPT. You will invest, you will invest in your career. In fact, by the time you're done, you will not work in that place again. Big organizations will be looking for you because you're ready, because you have the skills. Even you'll be like, I'm too much for this place. Just in 4 months, do exactly what I've said to you to do. Now, there are some tools that you will need. ChatGPT, you can do the free version. I don't know, it can be rubbish. So the reason why I'm saying you should do that is because you talked about presentation, report writing, all of the. So you may need ideas to populate the things you present and all of that. So see if you can afford to invest in it. be a game changer for you. Okay. What else? Then obviously find a Nigerian salesperson who is doing well. I'm not in that space, so I don't really know who is doing well as well. Who you can maybe who have like paid community, whatever that you can join. See all these guys, you can't really pay for them. You can't pay for their probably the best thing you can do is buy their books, watch their podcasts, just be part of people giving them the numbers online. That's it. Because if you want to get into one program, they call money for you. Like call your 5 years worth in 1 hour. So, but please, this guy, Danlock, Grant Cardone, Russell Branson, and Bronson, Chris Joe, Alex Umuzi. If I'm going to rate them, I think Russell, Alex, and Chris Joe, maybe your starting point. Danlock is high level and he has been there for years. He has a lot of content. Grant Cardone is also a sales, I don't know, a sales witchcraft wizard, whatever that is. So that's how you go, Tayo. Forget you. You just be giving to your boss. Forget him giving you anything at this point. You just be giving to him because of everything you're learning from these guys. But yeah, those would be my tools.
Thank you very much, Ma. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, I think we're running out of time at this point. I think once we take Emmanuel, I think we should start going. Emmanuel. Okay, I think we're going to have an early finish. Emmanuel, are you there? Okay, anyways, let's wrap this. Emmanuel.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, uh, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful session.
We
I've been
can't really
following
hear
you
you.
on.
I think it's breaking.
Please, I hope you can hear.
Emmanuel, we're still struggling.
All right. So I have this challenge. I actually have. I did my first degree in accounting, and I'm transitioning into the HR space. So I did a master's in human resource management, but I have like
Emmanuel,
two work.
I can't hear you, Emmanuel.
Hello. Please, can you hear me now?
Hi. Yes.
Yeah. I'm having a bit of a big challenge, and I need clarification. I have a background in accounting. I did my first degree in accounting, and I'm actually transitioning into the HR space. So I did my
Okay.
master's in human resource management. So I have two working, years experience in accounting, but for the human resource management, I've had the opportunity to intern at various companies, but not like a full-time, job opportunity. And I'm
Yeah.
currently with a digital skills company, like as a program leads, a manager. But recently, I realized that my uncle, I think my maternal uncle, wants to, help with his job, his company. But the role that he wants to offer me is an accounting role. I
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually moving from that space into another space. I need an advice as to how to handle that since it's a maternal, uncle and it's from a family. Yeah.
Okay.
Please, I hope
I
I'm
would have
clear.
thought this. Yeah, you are. Um, you you are going to have to choose where your loyalty lies, I guess. Um, I get how tricky it is. I think I've had to say no to people that I love dearly, including my dad, on several occasions. It's not going to be easy, but at the end of the day, you need to determine what's more important: you looking good or your career going the way you want your career to go. I don't know. I don't know the kind of relationship you have with this person, but I mean, I would have thought your career first. um, I think it depends on how you relate, right? To tell them, yes, you're in the finance space, but you're moving into HR, right? And that if they have opportunities in that space for you, then you would like to go that route. But otherwise, and look, let me tell you, there's always a compromise. There's always something. It's not the answer doesn't necessarily have to be yes or no. It can also be in the middle. So you can say something like, I mean, if you need advisory help, right, on the side, they employ somebody to do the role and they need some advice from you, you can clock in some 2 3 hours per week to support, right? But you are looking at HR, so you would really want to go that route rather than being full-time finance, which you're trying to sort of get out of. So I would have thought that was quite easy and simple. Just talk to them. I mean, just recently I had an uncomfortable chat with someone who was recommending me for an amazing opportunity that I declined. And this is someone very dear to my heart. And that conversation was, for me, quite emotional. Um, but yeah, so it's just how you talk about it. So tell them you really love the fact that they want you to fill that role. It speaks to the fact that they trust that you can do it, but you're looking at going this other route, but you are open to supporting them on a paid, from a paid perspective anyways, for a couple of hours per week to support whoever they bring on board if they'll be needing you to provide some advisory. That's it. I think that should work. I mean, for any sensible person, that person will see that okay, you're basically looking at your own career and you're looking out for yourself. I don't think they're gonna be mad because of that. Another thing you could do is to say, okay, can I help you shop for someone? So because to just keep that relationship, like if I shop for someone, would that be fine? So you can help them with the hiring. But and that may not be you, that may just be you finding an hiring organization that can help them hire or whatever. So you just be in the process until they get someone to fill that role while you focus on the area that you're doing. I think that for me would be my thoughts. Okay. Fabulous. I love this. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Now I'm going to have to ask you for something. I'm going to have to ask you. I don't do a lot of asking, but I'm beginning to learn how to ask. I've been doing a lot of giving. So my own
Please, ma,
coach has
ask.
told me,
Please ask.
my coach has told me to be asking that I need to be asking that people are willing to do stuff for me. Okay, good. You see how amazing this session is, and everybody say, "Oh, it's so amazing." Yeah, 30 of us that are here or 28 of us that are here know that it is amazing. But I want more people to know that it was an amazing session, right? And that's just because I want to get to a point where when we call webinars like this, we have up to 100 people joining, 150 people joining. By the way, over 100 people registered for this session. But I do know usually it's 1/5 of whoever or 1/4 of those that register that typically attends webinar like this is fine. Then people will start saying, "Oh, can I have the recording? Oh, can I have the recording?" And it's fine. Obviously, this is Saturday. People are resting. They're saying spending time with their family. They're going for Owambe, all that sort of stuff. So we need to continue to propagate the gospel, right? That there are answers out there, and sometimes those answers can come to you for absolute nothing, no payments, free of charge. Because obviously there are people out there that are confused, whatever. So I want you guys as willing as you can. Is obviously if you feel like it, do a post, tag me in that post, talk about the things you've learned here, whatever. It can be just one paragraph. It doesn't have to be plenty. Ex- exactly. You know, tag me in it, talk about the things you've learned. I just want it to be out there that this webinar, the way we said it, everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be a webinar." So those who got to attend the webinar, the things they learned will also be another thing to sort of share without me just. I don't want to be doing a lot of self-promoting this period. So I really appreciate that from you. That's something you can give to me that I will really love. And definitely I'm going to engage with all of those posts as well. And then all the guys can see how wonderful you guys are and how much you guys got from the session. Savior.
Okay, sorry, I just want to tip in some things there because
Yeah,
even me, I registered for the event and
yeah,
I didn't get an email. It was yesterday when I checked my spam box. I just saw the message, so I had to move it from spam to inbox. So if
yeah.
there's a community where a conversion would be ongoing, like we update people on the activities when we send email, okay, go check your spam box if you don't see it in your inbox. I think that would
Yeah,
also help because this number of people that registered, some of them might have the mail in their spam box.
I
A lot of
agree.
people don't check their spam box, so that's my contribution.
That's why I said I did that post yesterday to say my emails are sitting in your spam folder. Go and check. And we have a Telegram group. I don't know if you're on that Telegram group, Savior. Um,
Yes, I am. I
that
am,
may
ma'am.
okay, good. Yeah, so I think we'll be talking in the Telegram group as well. I think we're up to 700 on that group right now. So we'll continue to talk about it. Even my newsletters, I see the click rates. They are not impressive for me, at least. I mean, my newsletters, I think I'm on average of about 50% open rates now. So I mean, I want more people to see it. What's the point of me spending my whole Saturday writing a newsletter and just half of the people that I truly want to see it see it? So yeah, it will be a message we'll continue to sort of talk about as we go along. But no, thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. I totally enjoyed facilitating this session with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you,
Victoria, for your work.
ma. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Dolapo. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.